my name is Kara and I am the bassist of Les Non Triolet, and I'm going to show you what I do to warm up and keep in shape as a musician during quarantine and while I'm practicing. So before I even pick up my bass, it's important to do some stretches, especially as a bass player, because bass is such a big, heavy instrument. So if you don't stretch beforehand, you are risking hurting yourself. So I do these stretches first with my palm down, then palm up. And I hold each stretch for about 30 seconds each, but I'm doing it quick just for demonstration. Then some with my arm across, both sides. And then I just kind of shake my hands out and make sure everything feels good before I start. So then once I'm all stretched, then I get my bass. So I like to start with some sort of scale. So right now I'm doing this C major scale exercise. So what you do is, it's all slurred. So you start with a C major scale. Then go up to D, still in the key of C major. And keep going. Start from high C and go backwards, but we'll move on just for time's sake. So then I just like to do a normal scale. So right now the piece I'm working on is in A minor, so I would probably do an A minor scale, and I like to do a little bit of pizzicato. So I would probably do pizz first and then arco. So here's A minor scale pizzicato. And I like to do 2 octaves. And then, so now with the bow, first I would do all separate, all alternate bowing. So down, up, down, up. Slurred. And then I like to do an arpeggio, which I would do pizz first, but I'll just do arco for now. And I do that a few times in a row and then eventually move to the same thing but slurred. So this is just to get my fingers warmed up. And so then I like to do some sort of etude. So right now the etude I'm working on is this Allegro Maestoso from this Simandl book. So it's pretty long, so I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I'll play part of it. And like I said, I like to do pizzicato first. So I'll play just the beginning part, pizzicato, and I always use a metronome. So I have my metronome set to 130 beats per minute. So I'll do just part of it, pizzicato first. So 1, 2. The songs in this etude book, they're not really supposed to be played pizz, but again, this is just to get my fingers moving. And when I'm working on classical music, I'm not really doing a lot of pizzicato, so you want to make sure as a bass player that you don't neglect pizzicato, because then when you do need to use it, your fingers are not going to be used to it anymore. So even if the song I'm working on isn't pizzicato, I still work on pizzicato. So now I'll continue from where I stopped, but I'm going to continue with arco. So here's, I think, where I left off. So we start with B, 1. skip to the end because the end of this one is actually really cool sounding. So I'm just gonna skip ahead. So. All the Simandl songs, they end really cool. So that's what I do to warm up my fingers. So I start with scales. Oh, actually, before I play, I do stretching. Then I do my scales. I do everything pizzicato first. Then with the bow, I make sure to do separate bowing as well as slurs. And then I'm usually pretty warmed up after that. So, all right.